Alright guys, gonna be a long video, gonna try to talk really fast because I'm going to do more in-depth videos about the stuff I talk about probably in another video, but of course sort of the good, the bad, and the ugly about my trip to Turkey. So first of all, people ask, why were you going to Turkey? Well, I've always been interested in going to Turkey because after my pictures were being stolen on the internet so much, of course, on these basically international dating sites, whatever, I got to meet or, talk to a lot of people from Turkey. And I always hear about how Turkey sucks, Turkey's terrible, don't ever come. People block Turkey a lot on these international sites a lot. And they're like, it's just terrible, don't talk to anyone from there. And I myself as well, I've met a lot of, spoken to a lot of, I guess you could say, terrible and not cool people from Turkey, actually. Very negative experiences in general. Not everyone, but generally, I guess you could say, probably negative and uncool people from Turkey. But, I was trying to see the good in people, and I'm trying to find out, look at people on a deeper level. And so I started reading about Turkey, and even though Turkey struggles financially and economically and all this kind of stuff, I saw that they take care of stray animals and all that kind of stuff. And I thought that seemed really cool and interesting to me that, I don't know, I saw the good in Turkey because of that, I guess. And it made me interested in going because, of course, I like animals. So that always made me kind of interested in going. So anyway, leading up to this trip, though, of course, things have been going terribly. My identity was stolen. Of course, I have my normal health issues. Health is not good. So I've been dealing with all that kind of crap, trying to figure out all that kind of shit. So things started going. Oh, and of course, once I made this trip, of course, just my fucking luck, right? People didn't think I was actually serious, and then so some of the people I talked about like meeting and all this kind of crap, like, oh, I didn't know you were actually serious that you came, you bought your tickets. Oh, I don't think I could ever meet you. I didn't tell you that I have a boyfriend, sort of those kind of bullshit. So it's like, oh my god, I'd have to like sneak out to try to meet you, that kind of shit. And it's like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? I already bought my tickets. What are you talking about? Which, of course, then funny if you've been looking at my Instagram or Snapchat, that kind of shit. I've also had people that didn't want to talk to me before, thought I was fake or all that kind of stuff. They randomly have messaged me now. And they're like, wait, were you at the Mall of Istanbul recently? And I was like, yes. They're like, oh my God, I didn't think you were actually real. You're real? Oh, I want to meet you. Oh my God, yes, of course. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? You thought I was fake? How? How? You thought I was faking my voice? I sent you voice messages before. You should have known I was real. Give me a fucking break. Or people that block me for, it's so fucking retarded, dude. And it was just like, I'm getting these messages. It's like, dude, I'm already leaving. I've been here for a week. It's too fucking late. So anyway, planning this thing has gone fucking terribly, dude. So right before I leave for the flight, it already is going badly. Then I get to the airport. I've done my COVID test. You know what I mean? I'm getting ready to leave. The airport will not accept my COVID test for some reason. I don't know why. They're just like, we won't accept it. It was negative. I had the date, all this stuff. I was like, oh, we can't verify this for some reason. I don't know why. They're like, you have to go do another fucking COVID test. So I have to pay another $80 at the airport for them to let me take the flight. Which I should say Delta has already reimbursed me for it. They said it was a mistake, and they also gave me some, basically, $75, $100, however much you value their miles. So they already fixed that. There's another plane trip. There's another problem with the plane. They fixed that. So basically, I got reimbursed and got $100. So I guess that has been fixed. Anyway, God, other things that have happened. So it was really bad going into Turkey. I got really sick the first couple days being in Turkey. What are you going to do? But besides regular jet lag stuff, my health is not good. Health not good. So health was not good during the trip. That was unfortunately something that, I know can happen, and it unfortunately did happen. Just like when I was in Japan, I wasn't magically healthy the whole time. I missed Halloween, like I said. Thankfully, Halloween in Japan is like a week-long thing. But, so I was sick while I was there. The hotel I got to, I purposely bought an expensive hotel because I've heard so many horror stories from people that have gone to Turkey that have basically been ripped off on their hotel. It didn't look how it said. It was dirty, it was unclean, blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, I'm not going to take this chance. I'm going to get an expensive hotel because I'm sure they don't want a sick American to die at their hotel to give them a bad rating or some shit, right, dude? So anyway, and of course it was close to the Mall of Istanbul. So I'm like, if I'm jet lagged, you know what I mean, I can just walk around the mall, right? You know, if I'm too tired to do something. Anyway, I get to the hotel, excuse me, and I'll show, you know, pictures and videos in the bigger video. Excuse me, the hotel is dirty. I'm picking up chunks of hair out of the shower drain, dude. I'm like, oh my God, what is this, dude, right? The air conditioning is randomly not working. One of the lights is burnt out. I tried to call room service, you know what I mean? The room service thing. The phone was not working, so sorry about that. You know, I'm trying to call room service to get something. Phone isn't working. I go downstairs, like I'm like, yo, dude, I'm trying to call you room service. I'm basically giving you guys money. Can I order room service? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We will call you. Just go back up there. We'll call you. We'll fix it. Go back upstairs. Wait a while. Nothing. I go back downstairs. I'm like, yo, dude, what is going on here, dude? And they're like, oh yeah, room service. Well, how about this? We'll just call it for you. And it's like, you know what? How about this? I'm just gonna go to bed. I can tell you guys don't really want me here. It sounds like. So basically, I can't say for the hotel, from what I understand, because management did come out to talk to me twice about all the problems I was having. They didn't exactly say this, but they kind of insinuated, let's say, that the hotel I was at was not a really normal tourist hotel. It's mainly for rich Arab people, right? And they use it because they go to the Istanbul and the mall's right there and they buy a bunch of stuff. And you know, basically, from what I was told or insinuated, let's say, not actually told, what I was insinuated was that they have the money, they are the priority. Do you know what I mean? That is basically what I was told. So I assume from what I was being insinuated that, you know, I got a shitty hotel because there was a lot of rich customers there at that time and they needed to like be on their beck and call. Like they were even telling me like, you know, man, they were saying something like, you know, because their English wasn't perfect, but I could understand, you know, some of them, that they are very pushy basically, and they even kind of pick and choose who they will allow to talk to them. You know what I mean? They like, oh, we'll talk to this person. They can help us. We don't want you helping us. That, you know, that was kind of the thing I was getting at. So, um, yeah, okay. So that was that hotel. I'm still, you know, I talked to Hilton on the phone, and they were actually kind of implying that I could be getting half off for my entire stay. So I would love if that's true. They said they should be emailing me about it, but I have a hard time believing they're going to give me half off for the stay. What I was thinking, I was like, I wonder if they'll give me like $50 off of each night or some shit. But the guy on the phone kind of was, he was making me optimistic that they're going to give me half off for every night because, you know, air conditioning wasn't working, fucking, you know, one of the lights being burnt out wasn't a huge deal, but, you know, dirty, all this kind of bullshit, ridiculous, man. Phone not working, stupid. So still waiting for the email about that. Um, did I feel safe in Turkey? Were people nice or kind? You know, it didn't change my perspective on Turkey or human beings in general. Because you know what I mean. I definitely, a lot of people trying to sell you stuff, blah 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 blah, right? And when I actually saw, and by the end of the first day that I was really out and about, I kind of felt this. You know what I mean? People are pretty gregarious towards you, friendly. You know what I mean? When they're trying to send or sell you something, and they seem pretty friendly, but you know, sadly, you could see after about the first day, I could see that they didn't really care and they were just trying to sell me something. Like I definitely got the vibe. At one point, a guy came up to me and I spoke to him in a little Turkish, and he started like, he's like, ooh, and he I forget exactly what he said. Because he was kind of joking. He's like, a lot of people are trying to sell you carpets, aren't they? And I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, I'm really not here for any of that. And I spoke to him in a little bit in Turkish, and I actually tried to have a conversation with him, And when I tried to speak to him a little bit in Turkish, and when I actually tried to speak to him back to find out who he was, he's like, ooh. And I could see, like, oh, you feel like guilty that I'm actually trying to get to know you because you want to sell me something. And he was like, do you want to buy some clay pottery? You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, you didn't really want to be my friend, you know, you didn't really care. And when I got to know, when I was trying to get to know you, you actually started to, you could legitimately see the guy started to feel guilty, actually. Or maybe he didn't feel guilty. He knew he was wasting his time. Who knows, right? So yeah, what else? Oh yeah, did I feel safe? I did not feel unsafe until, when people talking about haggling and bargaining and all this kind of stuff. Like I actually, even when I was at like real stores, I saw them try to like haggle and bargain with me because I was looking at fragrances, and they were even like, "Hey, well, what do you think you want for this fragrance?" And it was like at like I think it's called like Boiner or Boiner or Boner. Let's call it Boner because it sounds more funny. It basically looked like a Macy's or something, and they actually were trying to haggle with me to buy fragrances, which I thought was kind of weird because it seems like it's like a legitimate store, right? Excuse me, but getting scammed with the taxi drivers, you could see, I saw one guy, I could tell by the time where I was, I could see him going in circles, and I was like, okay, dude, you know what I mean? So basically, thankfully, there is sort of Uber there, right? And I can say every time I took Uber, Uber was good. Every time a guy legitimately was a taxi, they scammed me, okay? And one guy, this is when I actually felt unsafe and it was like really not cool. So I did the Uber thing. Right when I got in the taxi, the guy turned off the Uber. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? Why did the Uber trip cancel, right? Because then it says like you're not, in the, you're not on a real trip. And he goes on the freeway and basically he's like, another 100 to let you out, basically paraphrasing with broken English. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, so much now. And I'm like, no, no, no. He's like, yes, this much now. And so I was like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like, motherfucker, you just turned this off. I don't know what you're going to do with me now, right? You just went on the freeway, you turned this off right when we got in. I'm like, why the fuck did the Uber turn off? And the guy goes on the freeway and it's like another 100 basically to let you out. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, right? And so then I just didn't say anything after, we went back a couple times. And I just got out my phone and, I recorded because you could see it on the taxi meter. So what the fuck the guy was talking about was ridiculous. I recorded him and, he's like, give me this much to let you out, blah, 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 basically. And I got his license plate and, I reported him. I'm not going to get my money back, I assume, but, maybe they'll report him to the cops or some bullshit. But that was, when that guy did that, I was like, wow, that's kind of, unsafe feeling that he would do that. Like that was more than bargaining. That was more than bargaining. That was like uncool and unsafe. I felt that someone would do that. Yeah, the food in general actually was very disappointing. It was generally pretty meh. And when I talked to friends there, that we were hanging out, we they were telling me that the food quality has not been good as well. And because I think it was the fifth day I was there, I was like, okay, let me try the Turkish versions of these, the Turkish fast food versions of this food. And I ate, and because I had been so unimpressed with the Turkish food, like no joke, when I was in Japan and eating at Turkish restaurants, and they're owned by Turkish people, the Turkish restaurants and stuff like that I was going to, they said they had moved from Turkey to Japan. The Turkish food I ate there was better than anything that I ate in Turkey, and I'm like, how the fuck is the Turkish food in Japan better than Turkish food in Turkey? And it was so ridiculous. And so the fifth day I was there, I'm like, let me try the fast food versions of these food, right? And it was actually good. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, dude, did I really get scammed for like 5 days in a row? And so I was talking to some friends because even one night that we were out, we got we went to a restaurant and we got some kinafe, whatever it is, something like that. And they were like, "Wow, this is the worst I've ever had. This is terrible." And they're like, "We're so sorry. Like, I can't believe you're being served such bad food right now." And they're just saying that the economy is so bad that there's not really a difference between going to restaurants right now and just eating the fast food stuff. And I was like, wow, this is incredible. Very sugary food, though. It was very, there were a few things I liked, but in general, it was generally just kind of okay. I was generally not too impressed with the food. So that was kind of disappointing, but, I'll talk more about that when I get more into food. Um, hmm. Oh, a taxi driver drove away with my stuff at one point. After that happened, like, oh my God, I started crying in the hotel room. I was like, oh my God, the taxi guy just drove away with my stuff. Are you kidding me, dude? It was so fucking, I was just so over the trip at that point. So stressful, dude. I was like, oh my God, what is going on, dude? Dirty hotel. The last taxi guy I just had took me on the freeway. You know what I mean? Like that bullshit. Next taxi guy, I was like, oh my God, come on, dude. Are you serious, dude? Um, so what the sightseeing though? Sightseeing was pretty cool. The mosques were cool, that kind of stuff. It is a very aesthetically interesting country. You know what I mean? Looking at a lot of really epic views for sure. And then of course it was interesting talking to Turkish people because it's such a double-edged sword because a lot of these most interestingly aesthetic stuff is all the stuff like the mosque and everything. And of course there's a lot of people that they don't really like all the mosque because why are you building all the mosque if we're suffering? Give us some of the money, So but yeah, I'll talk about more of that in another way. All the stray animals were generally cool. It was very rare to meet an unfriendly animal, and I only met a couple dangerous animals. But generally, they were very friendly and very nice. I'll show a lot of pictures and videos of that. That was cool. So I enjoyed that aspect. You know, overall, it was a negative trip, unfortunately. And it sucks because it should have been an amazing trip. It should have been an amazing trip, but there was just so many negative things that were happening, dude. And like I said, towards the end of the day, the later days, I started getting messages from people like, "Wait a second, I think we just saw you in public. You're real? Oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, yes, I'm real. What are you talking about? You didn't want to talk to me before. Now you saw me in public, and now you." It's like, dude, the trip is already almost over. I don't have time to meet you now. And I was thinking how ridiculous that is, dude. I was like, wow, what terrible bad luck, dude. I mean, thankfully the country is not very expensive, right? But luck wise, it was very bad. Um, hmm, I'm gonna make I'm gonna do separate videos showing the animals and the different mosques and the different scenery because the scenery was cool. Hmm, um, God, did was there anything cool like people coming up to me? I know I had some friends with me at certain points for sure, and they were telling me what the people were saying, and they're like, yeah, the people walking by us or standing near us, they think you're fake. They think your hair's fake. They're wondering, if you're real or not. If you're wearing a wig, if you dye your hair. Sometimes they asked if I was like a famous actor, and they thought that the Turkish friends with me were like my entourage, so to speak, and were like taking care of me like my bodyguards. I had some girls coming up to me and saying like mashallah and then walking away, which I guess is a really good compliment, I guess. Um, I don't know. You know, overall, like I said, I feel I'll talk about it more when I do these separate videos, but overall, unfortunately, it was a very definitely more so negative than positive. Some positives, but a lot of negatives. It was a very stressful trip. Unfortunately, I did not really see the good in Turkey, and I mean, of course, the animal stuff was nice, but I did see, you know, I experienced a lot of uncool stuff as well, and I can see why a lot of people talk shit about Turkey, unfortunately, which was disappointing because I know you know, I was planning on doing, you know, I wanted to take the vlogging seriously while I was there, and I was just constantly disappointed that I couldn't even do it, you know. And I tried, dude. I was just very disappointing. I guess at the end, would I go again? Of course I would go again, because I know the trip should have been amazing. So I would go again, but overall, yes, it was a negative experience, sadly. Um, Hopefully, the next time if I do get to go, it will be more positive. Oh, fuck! I forgot to mention that. One of the main reasons I went is for the tombili cat statue, and I guess they took it down. Oh yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, some of the stuff was under construction that I was supposed to go look at. It was under construction, not there anymore. Yeah, that what terrible timing. So that was terrible timing. The tombili cat statue, one of the main things I went, was no longer there. Fuck me, dude. Anyway. Remember, if you like the videos, like, subscribe, comment, share, support the channel if you want. That was my birthday trip to Turkey.